You see, I'm not mad. It's just really
disappointed!
It's very rare that I start to play a Call of Duty game like I did in the Black Ops 6 beta or even after Black Ops 6 was launched, and I'm like, you know what? They actually kind of cooked here. There might be some potential. And then just everything that happens after that just makes the game completely fall apart. And yesterday we got the reveal for Season 2 Reloaded, and honestly, this might have been the biggest letdown for me that I have ever had in Call of Duty ever, because after Season 2 was launched, it almost seemed as though they were building up. They're building up to Season 3 when Verdansk is supposed to return and all of that, and maybe they have learned the errors in their way, but clearly, just absolutely clearly, they have not. Now, there's one complaint that this game gets more than anything else, and it's about, well, let's just say the aesthetics of the game. And yeah, you can have that complaint. Call of Duty really has never been a military sim, but back in Modern Warfare 2019, it was definitely more so down to earth and realistic. And then at the launch of Black Ops 6, or sorry, I won't even say the launch, at the reveal for Black Ops 6, this is what the game was looking like.
We're recording. Truth is, your whole life is a lie.
You wanted peace, so we hit the war. And now it rages on in the shadows.
Behind closed doors, where we hide the world's secrets.
While we build your trust, the world falls apart around you. If you weren't so distracted, you'd realize
Nothing is what it seems.
Gritty, based in reality, figures from the real world. So take this and compare it to the most recent teaser for Black Ops 6.
Pop the lid! Pop the lid!
Hang on! I want to try my hydraulic wedge.
Move, I'll do it.
Quietly, guys.
Whoa!
Tubular!
Now, just to be clear, this is a map that takes place in 2024 with turtles from a different universe altogether that you're playing as characters from a game from 1991 that takes place during the Gulf War. Try to make sense out of that. That's a video for another day. It is more clear than ever that Call of Duty is trying to push their gameplay, aesthetics, and more specifically, microtransactions into the Fortnite era. They are trying to be Fortnite. Gone are the days where when you get a new operator in the game, you'd get actual backstory on how they fit into Task Force 141, other operators, Shadow Company. There was story behind all of them. Now, it's just the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It is the Fortnite effect in full capacity, and it is not slowing down at all. And Season 2 Reloaded is a perfect example of that. So we've talked about the aesthetic of it, and moving on past that, because honestly, I don't want to harp on that too much. Some games are going to be more realistic than others. That is fine. I think an arcadey Call of Duty game really does work, and we've seen that in the past with like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, but let's take a look at what Season 2 Reloaded actually has to offer. First off, we have two new maps. Number one is Bullet, or Bullet Train, whatever you want to call it. This map seems pretty cool, but it's literally a straight line, and people are either going to love this thing or hate it. You think some of the maps we have now are fast-paced action? This thing is going to be ridiculous. Number two is the Grind map, which is brought back from Black Ops 2, but this time it's spray painted with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all over the place because they need more advertising for the next thing that's in there is all of the bundles and the event. So this event doesn't start till a week after Season 2 Reloaded starts, in other words, next week. And when it does come out, there is going to be a premium event track, which honestly, at first, I really wasn't a fan of, but when you actually look at this thing, it's essentially like buying a bundle for essentially half the price that you then have to level up with XP throughout the event. Still not a huge fan of this, but honestly not the worst thing. But then on top of that, there are 4 different TMNT bundles coming out, each of which that are probably going to be at least 2,400 COD points, and each of them offer a new Ninja Turtle. Now, the sad part about this is these are essentially exactly the same skins with different colors and voiced by different people. That's essentially it. If you're buying all of this, it's going to cost you $90 for an event. Just for an event, which I find absolutely astronomically bad. But hey, you can spend your money on what you want. Where I have a problem with this though is when we actually get into looking at what they are showing off. If you go to the blog post where they show off everything new coming in Season 2 Reloaded, it's more so focused on the microtransactions, the bundles, the premium events, and all of the above that we just talked about. There is actually not a lot of focus on gameplay. We are getting a new mode in multiplayer, a new mode in zombies, and that is pretty much it. Let's talk about the other thing, the new weapons, because that is one thing I do think they're actually doing pretty well. So essentially, there are a bunch of new melee weapons, which I think are all going to be available, except for the skateboard, starting tomorrow in your armory. Now, as of right now, pretty much all of the ways that the armory has worked is by getting a certain amount of XP, you then get an armory unlock. Now, I'm hoping that these melee weapons have different challenges that go alongside with them, but we won't know that until tomorrow because they simply didn't tell us. They were too busy telling us about all of the microtransactions that were going to be there. Side note, we did get the patch notes for Season 2 Reloaded today, and honestly, most of the things that I saw in them, gameplay-wise, were pretty good, whether it be weapon balance or just general fixes specifically to Warzone. They were looking pretty good. However, one thing that was not mentioned whatsoever was servers or Ricochet. Do you know what was mentioned? Microtransaction, because every single weapon that you're going to be able to unlock via armory unlocks are also in blueprint bundles. Every single one of them. But don't worry, no mention of Ricochet, just microtransaction. And then on top of that, after they showed off all of the microtransactions in the blog post, they showed off that we were also going to be getting free gifts in game too, so you don't have to be spending your money. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought of why every day that you log in, they give you a free gift in the store? Well, let me show you a clip from my live stream earlier today. By the way, like this whole thing right here, where they give you a free gift every single day, that's like double XP or double weapon XP. They do this to simply make you go look at the store, because when you see free up at the top, you go get it, but then you're like, oh wait, hold up, this one's new. I haven't seen. Hold up. What's this? Oh, it plays a cut. Oh, maybe I should buy this. It's all a marketing thing. It's all a marketing thing. Don't be tricked. Don't be tricked. It's wild to me. The menus in and of themselves are more about marketing than about anything else. And this right there is the exact problem that I have with Season 2 Reloaded, with Black Ops 6, and as of right now, Call of Duty. The focus of yesterday's blog post wasn't to show us the new gameplay elements that are going to be coming to the game. It was to show us what we can buy moving forward. And in fact, even the events that they have built out, for example, the TMNT event. This event, all it actually is you play the game, you get XP, you go through the tiers. Play the game, you get stuff. It is there to artificially inflate the amount of time that the players are playing. The second event that they have coming is the Shamrock event, or the St. Patrick's Day event, whatever you want to call it. With this event, it is the exact same as the Terminator event that we just had, where you open up caches, or you kill people, or you kill zombies, and then all of a sudden they are dropping shamrocks. You go pick those up, and it's all designed based off of how long they want you to play. So an event like the Shadow Hunt event, where you have to go out and it forces you to play the game in a different way, they can't control as much how long this event is going to take you. So these type of events where it forces you to play in a different way, I much prefer and find them much more enjoyable gameplay wise, but they don't like them as much because they can't control and force you or artificially inflate those player numbers like they can with just an XP event. And because skill-based matchmaking exists, they know almost exactly how long each player is going to take to earn a certain amount of XP, therefore completing their event. They can do the same sort of calculation with how long it'll take you to pick up shamrocks, because they can kind of change exactly how long or how many you actually need to pick up. It is all a game of getting you to play longer, so you're in the menu, you see more bundles, and hopefully you buy more things. It's not about implementing better gameplay, new gameplay mechanics, or anything like that. The focus should be on that because they have introduced good things. For example, the slipstream perk. I really like this new way of movement, but they barely talked about that they've been stuck talking about what their next bundle and what their next crossover event is actually going to be. And this was evidently clear because when they announced Season 2 Reloaded, it was the exact same time that Marvel Rivals was announcing their Season 1.5, or their Season 1 Reloaded, if you will. And everything that they talked about, all of the trailers that they put out, were about the actual gameplay. They were about the new characters and the mechanics that those characters had. The video that they put out by the developers wasn't showing off the bundles or the skins that you could buy in game. It was breaking down and explaining to you what exactly was changing in game, which characters they were buffing, which one they were nerfing, and why. And then when they ended up showing off the brand new map, they also teased the story behind it, showing future characters that were going to come to the game, like Blade. And guess what? You don't have to pay extra for them unless you get skins. And they're not advertising those because they know if you're playing the game, they don't have to advertise them. If it's a good game, you're gonna pay for the things anyway. They're not just gonna shove it down your throat and try to steal your wallet out of your pocket all at the same time. I've had enough. I don't know what else I wanna say. I'm getting a little heated here. I'm mad. This is what we've been dealing with time and time again, waiting for fixes, waiting for updates, waiting for new content. And I am just at this point frustrated because I don't know if we're getting it. I have loved Call of Duty. This is something I have done. I have made Call of Duty videos since the original Modern Warfare 2. I think that's like 16 years ago. I clearly love Call of Duty and they are just beating it like a dead horse. And it's really hard to see. So I just wanted to put this out there, get my opinion out there. I've got a wicked video coming on Friday. It's another story video. I think you guys are really gonna like it. So make sure you subscribe and have notifications on. This has been my TED Talks. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you are also
disappointed!
We are